Okay. Come on, Greg, holding everybody up.
Right. It's good.
It's always the little ones. So as soon as Greg's ready, we'll get the game started. So what do you do in ZVP?
ZVP?
Yep.
I max at 12 minutes and then kill Protoss.
Sounds like a plan. Usually works.
Yeah,
You just do the roach max?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If they do something cheesy like Stargate, Fast DP, or Proxy, Gateway, I do I do the same build, except I take 2 extra extractors, and I don't get roaches or lanes, like I get a couple, and I take a fast forward, spread creep, and throw down a ton of spine crawlers, get a spire, and then start pumping out as many infestors as possible.
Very nice.
Yep. That one's more of like a macro build, but if Protoss is just playing like super standard, I'll just kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, that 12-minute roach max is really hard to hold off as Protoss, especially if you're trying to play even the slightest bit greedy.
You know what holds it off?
Lots of immortals.
Or one Colossus.
Not necessarily, though.
I'm not even kidding. That. Like on Antigua, one Colossus.
Yep. Alright, so in the bottom right, we have the pink Protoss trying to finally get a win for his team. We have oGk Jr. In the top left, we have the green Zerg going 2-0 so far for his team, trying to get the 3rd win. We have oGk, Dan hates you.
Who's Zach? Who's he talking to? I'm so confused.
No idea who Zach is, but...
Alright, so it looks like Junior's doing standard Forge Fast Expand.
Yep.
I've noticed Greg doesn't actually use the probes from his Nexus to build structures. He uses them off of his probe line. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think it turns out about the same way, either way.
Oh yeah? Oh, okay. Like, I don't know, you'll see like the higher end players just like they'll use probes from either their Nexus or probes on gas to build everything.
Really, probes on gas? I think probes on gas is a bad idea.
No, because like what they'll do is if they need to build a pylon, they pull a probe from gas like super fast, put a pylon down close to their Nexus, and then put it back on gas.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about from the gas. I think you want to mine as much gas as possible. I know unless you're going for like a really zealot heavy build. Yep, so it looks like it'll be Forge first, coming out of Junior.
Which is good, because Nexus first is like really risky against a pull first from Zerg.
Yep, and the Zergs almost always go pull first against Protoss, because it's so risky to get cannoned if you go hatch first.
8 out of the 10 times I win a ZVP straight up when Protoss goes Nexus first, because I'll just make 10 lanes and they'll lose their entire probe line.
Yeah, you have to be really, really careful as a Protoss.
Yeah. I mean, it could be easy to hold off if you put a gateway down first and then put your cannon and then like wall off with like another gateway like super fast and just cancel it when the lanes are going. But like, I don't know. You're already so far ahead if you hold it off because of the lanes.
Yep. Fortunately, you scout the Zerg's base before you decide whether you're going Nexus or Forge first, usually. Unless you're on a 4-player map, and then you almost always go Forge first.
Dan's doing something interesting. He's getting a fast gas.
Yep. We might actually get to see the Spainling Buster. Or maybe he's just going to do what he did against Terran and get some early link speed to stay safe from Owens or something.
He's pretty heavily supply boxing. He was going to do the extractor trick right there, but he realized that it wouldn't be enough to actually make that clean. Because queens cost 2 supply.
Yeah. A little bit of a problem, but not too huge of a delay.
Alright, let's see. Yeah. Greg hasn't put down his cybernetic score yet. He's actually...
Yeah, his gateway isn't finished yet.
It isn't?
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm dumb. I was looking at the Forge. Oh, I'm stupid. Why is Dan getting all these lanes? He's not doing anything.
Maybe he's gonna try to abuse the rocks that lead into the natural.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going for a fast third when the links pop. But I wouldn't say it's like super fast because it's at 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's not very good because like he doesn't have good saturation on either one of his bases already. And he's getting a Baneling Nest. Okay.
Yep.
So he is going to do a Baneling Bust.
Yeah. Perhaps the third is a fake? Or maybe he's just gonna try to transition from there.
The third might just be used as a macro hatch, actually.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's checking out this wall, and like this wall is bustable. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
is it worth it? It would be completely worth it if he busted through that pylon zealot part, and he just completely stopped warp gate.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And walling with a pylon in the front is always really, really dangerous. As a Protoss player and super punishable if the Baneling Bust is good.
When I play Protoss, I hate balling with the pylon, but sometimes like you kind of have to.
Yeah. It's all kind of preference. This wall isn't too terrible though, as long as he has confidence that he will hit that force field.
He's got 2 Artosis E pylons. Like I don't know. Like, do you like putting your robo like at the natural, or do you like putting it in the main? I like putting it in the main.
I almost always put it near the natural. I usually put it, as opposed to where he put it, I put it in the little corner, the back corner between the ramp and like kind of the edge of the wall near the natural, like in the main connecting.
Yeah, I don't think Dan has enough banelings to bust yet. So, and he definitely needs more links. But he could definitely win with this with the sentries out. So, it's all going to be about catching Greg off his guard. So.
Yeah. If he hits the force field and then can manage to kill the cybernetics core before warp tech finishes, which shouldn't be a problem if he gets the bust, they should be okay. And 18 links coming in. So it looks like he's going to try to bust, then run in.
Oh, and he got it!
Oh, he got it. Force field holds him off though, for at least for now. And he will have another force field after that.
Yeah, but the big issue is the cybernetics core has been unpowered.
Yep, so warp tech
he's
is
got to rely
stalled.
on one gateway that he's chronoing.
I don't think I like Greg's placing a pylon there again.
Yeah, no,
because that's going to be really easily busted.
Fields. Yeah, like as long as he keeps that pylon like out of the way, like I think Dan could actually win this game because of lack of warp warp gate, because then he could just break down the rocks, and like Greg won't have enough units.
Yep, and as long as he just keeps killing that. I don't like that.
He has 5 gates though. Like he could be making 5 units at a time.
Yeah.
Right there, but he's only making 1.
Yeah, and I think he definitely should be.
I don't know, like
he has 300 gas. We could be putting that all into sentries.
Dan could definitely hit this pylon again, and like that would be a complete win. But now the other pylon's up, so.
Yeah, and I think he can bust through this though.
Yeah, he could. Killing that gateway would be pretty big.
I also think it might be, if he had more Banelings, maybe killing the gateway might actually be a better idea.
Yeah. But the pylon was a great idea at first because he stopped warp gate. Like, come on, it's like almost 10 minutes and he doesn't have, like, he just got warp gate.
Yeah, I don't even know if he did that intentionally to stop warp gate or whether it was just...
I don't think he realized it. I think it was actually like a Baneling bust, but I still think Dan has enough units to actually kill Greg at the moment.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like Greg is going to want to 8-gate blink all in.
Yeah. And Dan's actually putting on some pretty heavy pressure.
Yeah, he still has those lings breaking down the rocks, though.
With those sentries, the Banelings actually took out a couple sentries, which is pretty big.
Yep. I think had Dan actually ran in all of his lings, though, it would have been better, but he, like, forgot a bunch just killing the rocks.
Yeah, he would have actually won that game right there if he would have ran everything in. Both players floating a significant amount of money. Greg floating a ton of gas.
Yeah, Greg's going to get rid of all of that, though, in just a second, warping in off of 8 gateways. And he does have the proxy pylon down at the upper right at the Zerg's 4th.
Yeah, they go to the Zealots, but I don't know.
Yep, and they're going towards the 3rd, although he should be able to hold this off with these micro up. Wings running in, and they do break through decently,
but...
but
not going to do much damage, so.
Yeah, they're not going to do enough, though.
Greg goes to this 3rd, investing 200 minerals to kill a 150 mineral queen, but there aren't really many drones there, and it's kind of just all landing with just lanes. It's kind of a strange idea.
Yeah, well, and queens are really important when you are floating this many minerals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cannon just did too much there, and I think Greg should have this game 42 supply Zerg to 90 supply Protoss.
Yeah, this might be the GG right here. I don't know though. If Dan could actually get a couple good Baneling hits, he could kill all these Zealots and the Sentry at the same time. But the Stalkers are here now, and
And then Wings
Stalkers don't have Blink though.
Yeah, and Wings tear apart Stalkers and Immortals.
Yeah, but not that many Zealots.
Yeah, imagine how different this game would have turned out had he not fumbled around with those Wings at the rocks and ran them all in. I think that definitely would have been GG.
Yeah. So Greg's gonna definitely kill this third. Yeah, there's no saving this third. If I was Dan, I would just like throw down a ton of Spine Crawlers, but he just doesn't have the money and he's pulling back, but he can't take on this many Zealots.
Yeah, like you said, I think right now his only bet is maybe throwing down Spines and then building Banelings and trying to get good hits on the Sentries and the Zealots and surrounding with the Wings. But I don't...
Going Muta right now would actually be really good too, but
he just doesn't have time.
he doesn't know.
And engaging with those Wings right there I think was a poor decision. Now all he has is Banelings.
Yeah, and the Banelings aren't going to even get close, but he did like force some force fields, so it's going to stall. Sentries in burst, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of in front. He didn't really feel like microing them that much. Nice hits with the Banelings, but I don't think... Yeah, it just won't be enough.
Nah, those weren't nice hits. It's like, you want if you're going to hit the Zealots, you don't want them in a straight line. You want them as clumped as possible. And they kind of came in like in a straight line. Because like Banelings already aren't that cost effective against Protoss. So you need to get like a good hit on every single unit. So, I don't know. He could have won that game. But, oh well.